Alright everyone, welcome back. We're still not completely done with the game, because from my perspective we have like what, 92% left over of this game to take care of. So the goal is to go get over 100% completion in this game. So I believe we start from here, start again, and then after we've done all we could, we head to Eclipse, I believe. But for now, we'll see how this goes. Oh, look at that, new.
買ってきた。レアチーズクッキーブルーベリーだっけ？
ご苦労様。はい、お金。
Caster took the triangular crepe without looking back, casually handing me a 500 yen coin.
いや、足りないんだけど、あと80円さ。
Hey, no good. She's not listening. I have no choice but to just eat my own share. Minus the clerk's recommendation, banana with fresh chocolate caramel cream. Delicious. This is really tasty. Even considering how hungry I was, it's superb. Even the name is excessively long. These crepes they make nowadays sure have the taste of extravagance to them. I only thought about it after leaving, but the food cart seems to have a good reputation. I think Sakura might have mentioned it before. Even though it seems abnormally high in calories, it's easy on the stomach. Sakura had better avoid it.
さて。
Caster, on the other hand, stuffs her mouth greedily, as if the taste is unimportant, crushes the wrapper into a ball, and throws it behind her. Oh, so your appetite is very similar to Saber. Minus the littering. Allowed a sigh while catching her garbage, and lovingly sent it to the waste bin with an overhead shot. She's glued to a van parked along the street, secretly spying on the two people walking together a little further away. The first, Caster's silent husband, Kuzuki Soichiro. The other, my unfaithful older sister figure and teacher, Fujimura Taiga. Oh, I see where this is going. They're technically work associates, I guess. Yeah. Come to think of it, while on the way to meet Issei at the temple, I was caught by this witch, forced to stand up my appointment, and have been marching around the city like this for about an hour and a half. Issei's probably furious right about now. Before I realized it, somehow we've left Miyama City and are in the middle of Shinto. We made our way across the big bridge, moving from pillar to pillar on a roadway to hide ourselves, all the while being continually peppered with blaring car and truck horns. If those two haven't noticed us already, I can't help but think there is some sort of magic at work. The saying, a young maiden is blinded by love, seems to hold true. Why does it feel off somehow? Maybe something to do with the phrase young maiden. Along with the target, we continue to move forward. I poke Caster's shoulder as she's standing in the shadow of a bus schedule sign.
なあ、キャスター。ちょっと俺、まだこの追跡口の要点が飲み込めてないんだけど。
No response.
おい、キャスター。
Again, no response.
ねえ、キャスコったら。
The heel of your heel is breaking my shin.
奥様？デニムのポレロジャケットの初々しい若奥様？
あら、何かおっしゃられて？
さ、俺たちなんでこんなストーキングプレイに夢中になってるのか、もう一回教えてほしいんだけど。
こんなこと？
She grabs me by the neck and pulls me in front of her underneath the shadow of the plaza's object d'art. A blue flame can be seen burning in her eyes.
物覚えの悪い坊やね。一目瞭然でしょ。あの幹部を見張っているのよ。宗一郎様の身にいかなる不幸や間違いも降りかからないように。
Well, from my point of view, nothing is really going on between the two, and you're just going to be blowing this out of proportion, but we're going to have this fun anyway. Let's continue on. I'm telling you, that's the part I don't understand.
いや、でもだよ。あそこにいるのは藤村大河だけど。
ええ。だからこそ、後見役のあなたにこうして看護してもらっているのではなくて？
Guardian. Custody. Is Fujine some kind of heinous criminal? Well, I'm not gonna disagree that I look after her. The problem lies somewhere else.
隣にいるの久月先生だろ。
いかにも宗一郎様です。
その降りかかる不幸や間違いって？
たわいない。無論男女が共にいれば起こりうる至極もっともな状況を指して言いましたが、坊やにはまだ早かった。
つまりそれって
宗一郎様が建物の奥へ。さあ歩いて。
I'm led by the neck at the bent posture from hiding place to hiding place while stealthily following them. On the other side of the street, a kid with his family points and laughs at us.
何を見ているの子供。豚に帰るわよ。
Don't say things like that with such a serious look on your face.
待て、落ち着けキャスター。いいか、俺が知る限りこの冬騎士で、いやもしかすると西日本一帯で浮気調査やらガサ入れやらといった単語から最も縁遠い女性はどなたですかって言ったら、そりゃもうあちらにおられる藤村大河女子だから。藤姉に比べたらさ、まだうちのバイト先の看板娘さんの方が現実味があるというか。
I completely forgot she has a crush on him.
おや猫くん、風邪かね。そういう時は飲むに限るぞ。
あれ、おかしいな。どっちもどっち？いや、とにかくそのくらいバーチャルだってことだ。
But even after my insistent explanation, Caster's eyes don't show even a trace of understanding.
あのメトラメを人畜無害と言い張るつもり？
Yeah, she really is.
けれど現にこうして二人の仰せを見せつけられている以上は、これっぽっちも説得力がないわ。
だからあれは。
Come to think of it, what's Fujine doing? I thought she had just wandered off early this morning.
そりゃあまあ仕事の話だと思うけど、何かの下見とかさ。
今日は穂村原学園はお休みのはず。休日出勤や残業の時は宗一郎様は欠かさず私にお話ししてくださいます。
Imagine Soichiro was planning a surprise for her.
へえ、さすが新婚。思いやりだね。
そうなのよ。遅くなる。先に食べていなさい。
Well, I mean, he's not necessarily telling you where he's going, but alright.
へえ、残業ったら藤姉の場合、白とんかつ弁当キャベツ特盛り超特急だよ。
羨ましい。私も宗一郎様のお勤めする姿を見てみたい。授業では宗一郎様もお話になるんでしょ？
Well, he is a teacher, so I would assume so.
そりゃまあずっと黙ってられちゃ授業にならない。
いいわね。
何が？
授業が聞けてさぞやハッピーでスイートな時を過ごされてるのでしょうね。
そりゃあもう倫理の授業だし。
As expected, Kuzugi-sensei doesn't seem to talk much at home. Caster doesn't seem unsatisfied, but deep down she probably wants to hear his voice more often.
よし、じゃあ予行演習だ。職員室のつもりでちょっと挨拶に行ってみよ
う。Then no sooner did I start walking, my arm is pulled back. Turning around, I see Caster shaking her head vehemently from left to right.
ダメ、絶対。
なんでさ。
わからない子ね。妻たる者、夫の帰宅を待ちながら。
The moment Caster raises her voice, Kuzuki-sensei abruptly turns around.
あら、先生、花粉症ですか？ 近頃は秋も辛いらしいですね。私は点で無縁ですけど。
いえ、少々耳慣れた声がしたような。
人が噂すればするほど花粉が大量発生するんですよね。
それは新手の都市伝説でしょうか。
危なかった。やっぱり久月先生を疑ってんだな。
ギク
Hiding behind the shop's clothing display, Caster scowls.
誰がそんなことを言いました？
But it shows.
で、その疑ってるのを当の旦那にだけは知られたくはないと。
なんということかしら。私の知る坊やはもう少し可愛げのある素直な性格だったのに。
それって騙されやすいってことか？
That's kind of upsetting. They say you should take a fresh look at a man you haven't seen for even 3 days.
俺も変わったんだ。あの作望を渦巻く福間伝と化した屋敷で過ごしていれば、嫌でも俺だって。
Schemers.
ほんと何してるのかしら、あの二人。
Honestly, I think the only schemers in the household would be Taiga and Rin. Everyone else is pretty much fine. Even Ilya isn't much of a schemer. I wouldn't. At times, I feel like the main two, Taiga and Tosaka, are the lead for that.
また移動したわよ。
キャスター？
She's not listening, and she's gone.
本格的に腹減ってきた。そろそろ俺も帰るから。
Casa turns around in a flash, sinking her nails into my shoulder.
ちょっとお待ちなさい。そんな腹ペコキャラぶったところで可愛いのはセーバーだけよ。男は見苦しいだけです。
Oh, so Saber can only be the one that's hungry and not Shiro? That's unfortunate.
じゃあ、あとは頑張って。
I never thought I'd see this type of scene in my life. Holding onto my leg, Caster gets pulled along, sliding across the smooth floor like a snow sled. I disregard her and walk briskly.
キャスターの心配もわからないでもないけど、でもやっぱりいい趣味じゃないよ。人の後をつけるなんてさ。だ
Shocked at seeing Caster sitting formally on her knees and in tears, I finally stopped moving.
だって私一人で尾行なんてしてたらまるで変な人か。でなきゃ人妻に横連ぼしようとしてる愛人みたいじゃない。
Oh my god.
それが本音か。でもまあいいじゃんか。職務質問くらいなんだってんだ。恥ずかしがらず言ってやればいいだろ。私は久月メディアですって。正真正銘あの男性の奥さんですってさ。
Caster was in the midst of staggering, but she suddenly lifts her head.
Repeat once more.
Why is it? Why did she say that in English and the translation is in French? Okay, I'm not sure if this is French. It seems French.
何？
あ、
久月メディア？
久月メディア。
I think we may have found Caster's weakness.
それいい。
At the very least, besides Kuzuki himself.
それだ。それ久月メディア。帰ったら朝日に表札掘らせなくちゃ。
いやあんた居候だし。
Caster's twirling about like a spinning top with both arms wide open.
皆様、私は
This is not something you want to do, Caster.
久月メディアでございます。久月メ
輝いてるな、キャスター。
Though you've also become a suspicious person for real now. Actually, she seems to be at about her wits' end. Just one more slight poke might be all it takes for her to blow her top.
あれ、藤姉たちは？
メストラめ、私を巻いたわね。
あ、帰ってきた。
伏せて。
It's kind of pathetic how accustomed I've gotten to hiding myself by this point. Both of them are retracing their steps, returning from the shopping mall's restaurant area.
歩かせちゃってすみません。怒ってらっしゃいますよね。
歩くのは苦になりません。
よかった。大丈夫です。次こそバッチリですから。
In the end, the two of them leave the shopping mall and head off in search of the next destination. Now that I look at them, all of the restaurants are completely crowded during the holiday lunch hour. However, they're not so packed that they couldn't sit two more people.
さっきからずっとこのパターンなんだよな。店の前まで行っては目前で引き返す。別に急転してるわけじゃなし。
あら、坊やあれは？
そろそろ坊やは卒業したい。
なら僕
か。
Caster's pointing at the exit of an Italian chain restaurant. There are three girls wearing school uniforms.
三枝たちだ。部活の行き帰りっぽいな。
Caster's expression becomes grim.
やっぱり人目を避けているのね。あら坊や、僕どうしたの？急に隠れたりして。ついに逃げ出したかと。
She gives me a cold look as I cling to the back of the escalator.
そうしたいのは山々だけど、俺にも事情がある。あんたとのツーショットを連中に目撃されると、また説明がややこしい。
Caster bites her lip.
男という生き物は。
Ah, crap. Looks like I've gone and made things complicated anyway. Damn it. Whose fault does she think this is?
急ぎましょう。まだ遠くへは行ってないはず。
あとほんの少しだけば。
Once again, she briskly pulls me along by the scruff of my neck. I'm exposed, naked to the public view. Behind me, I feel like I can hear Makidara's "Ooh, tomorrow the more newspaper's front page is mine," and Saegusa's "Eh? What is it, Maki-chan?" and Himura's But now's not the time to worry about that.
やつらはどっちへ行った？
Now that we've run as far as halfway around the mall, she starts yelling at the parking lot security guard. She really doesn't care how this looks anymore, does she?
あれじゃないか。
Right this moment, the two of them have just climbed up the log staircase of what looks like a cottage-style store and are disappearing inside the door.
喫茶店よね。
みたいだね。はあ、よかった。ラブホとかじゃなくて。
Oh my god.
行きましょう。
あ、もちろんだ。
I value my bangs. And to tell you the truth, I value my life even more. Get that mysterious blade. Gee, that mysterious blade sure is sharper than you expect. With precise timing, we slip in through the shop's open door right as another customer is leaving. The waitress attempts to greet us, but becomes completely rigid after the first syllable. It's almost as if she was stared down by Ryder. Behind Caster, I put my index finger to my mouth and appeal to the waitress with desperate eyes. If not for that, I'm afraid she may have mistaken us for a duo of robbers and reported us to the authorities. Fortunately, that doesn't happen. In any case, we're customers. We have no intention of causing any trouble. I mean, you have no intention. I don't know about Caster. Could you please show us the most inconspicuous seating arrangement? Please don't worry too much about this woman. I try my best to explain all this with gestures. The result is that my sincerity and enthusiasm seems to reach the waitress, and she leads us to a table situated as far from other customers as possible. Thanks to that, she hasn't come back to take our orders. Tip her strongly, man. I look around the tidy interior of the shop and see that Fujine and Kuzuki-sensei are situated diagonally across the room from us, next to the window. Thanks to a thick pillar standing in the middle of the room, they haven't noticed us. I hope. The ambience is that of a true coffee shop, calm and relaxing. We might be able to overhear their conversation if we listen carefully. Nice positioning.
ご注文は
Sometime after the two of us sit down, a waiter finally decides to show up at our table. I scan through the menu in a hurry,
エールを。
restlessly eavesdropping on our target's conversation. Caster rudely gives her selection with her back still turned.
ジンジャーエールでございますか？
生姜なんか絶対入れないで。だったらワインを。
申し訳ありません、お客様。アルコール類は午後5時以降よりのご注文とさせていただいております。
何もないのね、この店は。じゃあ水でいいわ。
当店は紅茶専門店でございますので。
The waiter is also trying hard, it seems. As for me, I'd like out of doing battle with this menu that's devoid of explanation as soon as possible. I at least know what Asam and Kimon are. But what the heck is Nuwada Ilia and Lapsang Sochong? Local greetings? Newcomer servants? As someone with an interest in cooking, my curiosity is piqued.
本日は特にアイリッシュスタイルとなっておりまして、特製のブレンドをご用意して。
紅茶なんてただの色水でしょ。どれだって一緒よ。いいから黙っててくださる？注文ならそちらの坊やが2杯でも3杯でもしてくれるわ。
How cruel. It's too much. She owes tea lovers everywhere an apology, and me while she's at it.
お言葉ですが、お客様。かのアイルランドでは、茶は血よりも濃いと言われているのをご存知ですか？
Oh, is that Lancer?
なあ、おい。
That's right, you tell her. That's the first time I've heard that saying. Wait, oi, you! I look up from my menu in a panic end.
注文もしやがらねえのに一発のお客面してやがるのはこの耳か？あ？
I didn't recognize his voice until I heard him speak about Ireland.
ランサー
The one holding Caster up by the ears unmistakably Lancer.
よう、お前らもなかなか隅に置けねえな。自分の連れはほっといて密会か？違うって。
なんという暴言。ありえない。
ランサー、また転職を？
My recollection is extremely vague on this matter, but as I remember it, Lancer was working somewhere else.
前の店の店長が泣いて頼むんでな。ねぐらにゃ退職金代わりの花やらぬいぐるみがゴロゴロしてるぜ。
Yeah, Lancer was a florist last time I remember.
そうか。
Isn't that just making him clean up?
どうでもいいけど、その汚い指をお離し。
おっとすまねえ。一度触ってみたかったんだよ、この耳に。同感だ、ランサー。
I know what you mean, man.
だろ？
I reach out a hand instinctively and Caster's ears twitch.
動いた。
They moved.
ブレーナ。私の耳を触っていいのは宗一郎様だけです。
ほう、触ってもらったことあんのか？
うるさい。島の野良犬、打剣、豚犬。見境なく噛みついてると細切れにして深の餌にするわよ。
I don't know if that's a significant fact about her not wanting to own any dogs, because that could be a bad thing.
現代ではガス室に送られるんだ。
じゃあそれでいいわ。
その意気だ、魔女殿。そっちの方がらしいじゃねえか。でだ、本当に水飲み話をしに来たってわけじゃねえよな。
Caster and I suddenly come to our senses and look at each other. Bringing up the menu as a shield, we quickly hide our faces behind it.
なんだか騒がしいお客がいるのね。せっかく静かそうなお店を選んだのに。ところでいかがですか、先生。ぬるぬるのお味は。
煮る切りです。
バレなかったのかな。
のようね。
Caster's face comes very close to mine, and I can see that she's broken into a cold sweat. Though she's been crying and fuming for the last while, now that I look closely at her, she really is an unbelievable beauty. Would someone really leave a wife like this alone to go fooling around with another woman?
何やってんだお前ら。あ？顔を合わせたくない客でもいるのか？
Lancer smirks as he watches us.
そうなんだ。実は
余計なこと。
I mean, Lancer may be able to help us. What are you talking about?
いいわ坊や、何か注文しなさい。怪しまれるから。
今度こそおごってくれるんだろうな。
割り勘に決まってるでしょ。坊やとデートしに来たわけじゃないの？
Yet you drag them all over the place. What are you here to do? Commit a crime?
これなんかどうだ？ケニア茶とルワンダ茶のブレンド。俺も飲んだが意外とうまいぞ。
じゃあそれでいいわ。それ2つ。
Caster tries to shoo Lancer away. What staggering rudeness.
かしこまりました。少々お待ちください。
Lancer steps back in a very well-mannered fashion. He's acting like a genuine waiter. He's so courteous it makes me wonder if he's more suited towards the service industry. Just as I'm about to forget that he's a servant, the numbers on the menu bring reality crashing down on me. 1, 7, circle, circle. Huh. What? 1,700 yen? There are beverages that are expensive enough to have commas in their prices? I guess they provide a whole pot, but one cup still shouldn't cost more than 500 yen. Not to mention the bottom of the menu is filled with prices over 2,000 yen. They drink several servings of this a day? Ireland, what an amazing country! That explains how cheap junk food like fish and chips became a staple in their diet. Now then, I concentrate on listening on the conversation at the table of the two in question. As usual, Kuzuki-sensei isn't saying anything while Fujine is talking up a storm. Still, something seems completely out of place with her tone. There's tension mixed in with her voice, like she doesn't know how to bring up what she really wants to talk about. Caster throws him a glance while stooping downward.
さっきまでは学園の教え子や関係者のいる場所を避けていたのよね。
だと思う。おそらく藤姉の勘違いでレストランのつもりがクリーニング屋だったりしたのかもしれないけど。
あれは勘違いなの？
多分回転セールの文字に惹かれただけで。
そんな理由？
もしそれより深遠な理由が隠されていたとしたら、俺はこれまで藤姉というホモ・サピエンスを全く理解していなかったことになる。
じゃあ模型店から怒鳴り出てきたのもエポパテが品切れだったからじゃん。
え、そんな場所寄ってた？
寄ってたわ。
Epoxy.
どうしてそんな女に総一郎様は。
Caster bites her nails.
いやだからそういう浮いた話じゃないって。
品切れなんて。
Of all the people, I'm fairly certain Kuzuki is the last guy to be, what you call, a cheater. Like she has nothing to worry about on that front. Even though this is such a high-class shop, I've never been so uncomfortable. Fujine, this is all because you didn't take action early on to clear up this misunderstanding. Quickly, just start saying something teacherish. I'm depending on you. Do it! Then, right next to my elbow, that's resting on the table as I pray, a face appears.
冷めるぞ。
ランサー。
いつの間に気配も悟らせず。
Steam rises from the cups as Lancer sets up a tea for two without so much as making a sound.
お前ら俺を誰だと思ってる？アルスターの光の巫女、王者の槍のウェイター様だぞ。渋くなる前にとっとと飲め。
あんたが入れたって。
ウェイター様だって言ってんだろ。入れたのは厨房に引っ込んでる妖怪じみたジジイだ。
Lancer squats surreptitiously near the table and narrows his eyes.
目当てはあの客か？あれ、クズキじゃねえのか
The atmosphere changes. Even I can feel overpowering pressure. She's aiming at the spearman without looking up from her teacup.
おいおいよせよ。
While acting innocent, Lancer freely pours from the pot of tea.
客に槍を向けるほど落ちぶれちゃいねえ。